Hello there, and welcome to the tutorial video for Narrative Writing Exercise B in Miss C's English 208A class. Let's go ahead and get started. So, just like writing exercise A, we need to go to the Classes tab first and select our English class. Awesome. Once we're here, let's go ahead up to Tools at the top and click on Assignments. And we're going to scroll until we see Unit 1 Narrative Exercise B. Alright, so here's what it'll look like. I had to change my view really quickly, but on your side it'll look something like this. Okay, I want you to go ahead and click in on that link to go into the Dropbox. And go ahead on down where we see our attachment, and let's click it to open it. It'll say Writing Exercise B Assignment Sheet. To open it, just click in the bottom corner where you saw it pop up. Alright, here we go. So this is what we need. Now again, if this document doesn't work for you, you can always start a fresh document and just follow the directions that are in the Dropbox. You don't have to turn in this sheet to get your credit. So if you need to work from a blank doc, as long as you follow the directions, it'll be fine. But let's go ahead and enable editing at the top. That's how we have to get into this document. And now let's go ahead and save it, somewhere I can find it. I'm going to go to File, Save As, and I'm just going to pick Browse, and I'm going to put it on the desktop. If I have an English folder in my documents, even better. And to make sure this is the right one, I'm just going to make sure to put my first and last name. Okay, so let's say I'm John Doe. I'm just going to write in that name and hit Save. Now I'll be able to find this again, and that's important because I might need this for my Unit 1 portfolio. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put my name at the top, and then I'm going to go ahead and look at the directions. So for this one, I'm writing 2 paragraphs. I'm going to write the first paragraph of a story about a lost pet, and I'm going to use the third person objective point of view, which means I'm going to kind of describe the events going down, kind of like I'm watching them through a camcorder, and I don't know what anybody's thinking. So I can't use thinking and feeling words, just kind of action and behavior words. We'll see what that looks like. For an extra challenge, try not to tell the reader directly that the pet is lost. Try to get the reader to make that inference, right, to make that educated guess as they read using context clues. Then we're going to rewrite the paragraph, so our second paragraph is going to be from the pet's point of view, as though the pet could tell the story in first person, so with I and me pronouns. Let's see what that looks like. So here I have an example. I did mine with my cat Wink, and when she got lost. You can read through the first paragraph, third person objective, if you need to pause for a minute. You see how it doesn't say how Wink is thinking or how she feels, but we can guess because she's crying out with a pitiful meow. Okay. Now in paragraph 2, you can see there's a little bit more detail. I'm really describing it as though Wink is telling the story. So you can see she talks about her relief, how she took a risk and cried out for help. These are things that we wouldn't know if we were just watching, but in Wink's mind there was a lot going on. So let's go ahead, let's pick a pet here, and let's try writing about it in third person objective. I'm gonna go with last year's pet. It was a cute little Pomeranian dog named Donut. Alright. So first, where did Donut go? So it says Wink ran under the porch and laid there in silence for hours. Let's say, I think Donut is a little bit friendlier, a little bit sillier maybe than Wink. Very extroverted kind of doggy. So I'm going to say, whoops, just a moment here. I'm gonna say that Donut got so excited. And how can I show that excitement? Because I can't tell that there was excitement. So maybe she was running everywhere. So Donut was running everywhere, kind of like a dog does, jumping and barking um, as her tail wagged. She went down the street because she's out, right? She obviously escaped. She's reveling in her freedom, right? So she's going down the street, but I can't say she's reveling in her freedom because that would tell her mental state. I've got to just keep it to the facts. So she went down the street and saw a squirrel in a nearby tree. That sounds like something a dog would do. She tore after the squirrel through several yards, right, and bushes. And when she finally lost sight of it, was in another neighborhood. I can't say it's not a place she knows, but the fact that she's in another neighborhood, that's something I could see on a videotape. How would I show she was scared? What's it look like when a dog is scared? Maybe they start whining, right? Pawing. So maybe I'll say, so she's starting to get worried. She started shaking as the sun set. Tail between her legs as she wandered through the neighborhood. Okay, so that's third objective. This is how we'll do it. Okay, so just the facts. Several times you saw I kind of had to moderate myself and make sure not to include anything that would give away what Donut was thinking or feeling. Just like I'm watching through a camcorder, it was kind of challenging. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and write from Donut's point of view. And I already know everything that happened, so I might be able to use a lot of this to help me get started. Let's try it. So I'm going to say, instead of Donut was running everywhere, we're Donut now. I was running everywhere. Maybe I'll say, freedom tasted so sweet, right? And she's obviously not where she's supposed to be. She's jumping and barking. So maybe I'll say, I jumped and barked in the warm, sunny front yard. She's escaped her backyard pen. Then set off on an adventure. So that's when she starts going down the street, right? I saw a formidable opponent. A squirrel, right? But I think Donut would see this as a formidable opponent in a nearby tree. And took off after it, chasing it through several yards and bushes to try and chomp its furry, long tail. Sounds like something a dog would try to do, right? After a while, I lost sight of it. And suddenly, I realized I didn't know where I was. I couldn't see my neighbor's house, or even my owner's house. I started to shake, right? Because she started shaking as the sun set. So I started to shake as the sun set, and it grew colder. My tail between my legs as I searched frantically for my owner. What's the owner's name? Maybe Lisa. I think that sounds cute. Alright, so you see how I did that? So I took my paragraph, same events happened, right? But this time I made it sound like Donut was telling the story. So this time you can see I could add so much more context. I could tell her thoughts, how freedom tasted sweet, how she was getting scared, right? All that kind of good stuff. The squirrel, that was kind of funny. So now you kind of see how to write this thing. And I actually have enough after 4 sentences a paragraph. I've got enough um, to turn in. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. So file, save to save my work. And I'm going to go ahead and go turn it in. So I'm going to head back to the Dropbox where I was before. I'm going to scroll on down till I see submit assignment. I'm going to hit add a file, my computer, hit upload. I'm going to go to the desktop where I saved it, or my English folder hopefully where I saved it. Double click. If I did it right, I'll see it right there. I'm going to hit add, and if it turns up in blue, I did it right. Don't need to add a comment unless I'm turning in the assignment through the comment box. That would be if Word is absolutely not working for you. You can write it in there. But since it's working for me and I've got it, I'm going to hit submit. You'll know you did it right because it'll say file submission successful. Okay, and just to double check, I can also check my submission file. I can click it and open it to make sure I didn't submit a blank by mistake. Okay, when you're done, hit the done button and you have turned in your assignment. Good work! If you need anything else, reach out to Miss C today, to me, at mcondollery@insightmi.org. And have a great rest of your day.